In a world where one man has to start a comedy show, he didn't plan what he was really gonna say, and this accent is kind of dumb, but that's okay because he has that Athens Open Mic night. Please welcome your host, Thomas Wade.
I don't know why I said my full name. I haven't been called Thomas in like 5 years. How are y'all doing? Thanks for coming out. Happy Parents Weekend. Yeah. We're all having a good time. The other week I was buying a new mattress for my apartment, and during checkout there was a recall notice for beanbag chairs. The beanbag chairs had this double-sided zipper, so kids would unzip the zipper, climb inside the beanbag chairs, zip it back up, and suffocate. And can you imagine if your child died that way, how easy the cleanup would be? Yeah. Sorry, I know this isn't a popular opinion. I really don't like kids. I don't understand why any of you had kids. I don't get it. I don't get it. In my defense, though, kids have always been mean to me. Like, when I was a little kid, other kids were really mean to me, and now that I'm an adult, they're still assholes to me. People ask me sometimes, though, Tom, how can you say you hate kids if you were a child once? And I assure you that when I was a child, I was extremely, extremely depressed and hated myself. Really, honestly, the only reason I didn't kill myself in elementary school was I really lacked the technical skills. I couldn't open pill bottles, I couldn't tie knots, couldn't set fires. If I had been a better Cub Scout, I would not be here talking to you. I don't understand pedophiles, because two of my biggest turnoffs are unrepentant selfishness and people who can't blow their nose. I also really don't get movies like The Exorcist, where demons possess children. Like, what's Satan gonna do, make a 7th grader more evil? Please, only Christ can perform miracles. That being said, I was a camp counselor over the summer. The bullshit game was really strong on interview day, and I needed the money. My kids were age 6 to 8, which is just old enough for them to scheme, but not old enough for them to understand what empathy or self-control is. Get into fights a lot. Here's a joke. Why did Katie bite Esther?
Why?
Because Katie's parents are divorced. That's not me making fun of that kid. That's a direct quote. I was like, Katie, why did you bite Esther? And she was like, because my parents are divorced. I was like, Esther's parents are divorced too. She doesn't attack kids because marriage is a primeval lie. That's a lie, actually. Esther would attack kids and hit them. But I didn't really get that mad about it because I get it. My parents aren't even divorced and I still came into work and I wanted to hit kids every day. I understood it. My favorite camper was this little 6-year-old black boy named Caleb. The fact that he's black has no bearing on this story, but it does on the next stories coming, so just keep that in mind. We're walking around the aquarium. It was like a field trip, and suddenly his cheeks balloon out, like he's gonna throw up. I'm like, are you okay? Do you have to puke? And he's like, and sprints to the bathroom, and comes back out. And I'm like, are you okay? Do you feel all right? And he's like, yeah, I feel fine. I'm like, what'd you have for lunch? He was like, I don't know, some crackers, some pasta, but I didn't really like the pasta. So I was like, okay, bad pasta, whatever, kid's fine. And then he grabs my shirt and pulls me aside, gets real close, and he's like, also, I ate something off of the ground earlier. I was like, Caleb, what did you eat off the ground? And he was like, I don't remember. Well, guess what? When we eat things off the ground, we puke. It's our body's way of telling our brain it needs to do its fucking job. I had a least favorite camper too. His name was Sammy. Sammy would like lie and tattle on kids, which is pretty standard fare, but he would also say stuff that was just sort of flippant and offensive. Like one time, every 2 weeks we had this thing called Y-Town. I worked at the YMCA, so it was Y-Town. It was like this mini carnival with we had like snacks and games and activities for the kids, and they just sort of ran free. They were on a buddy system. So Sammy and Caleb, who again is a little black boy, they were partners. And I see Sammy standing by himself. And I'm like, Sammy, where's Caleb? Did you lose him? And Sammy just is like, no, he's right over there. And he pointed at a completely different little black boy. These two children could not have looked less alike. The only thing they had in common was their race. And I was like, wow, that's a really racist little kid. And like a lot of little kids are racist because they're naturally in their bones hateful, and then we live in a racist society, so it just makes it worse. But like, Sammy was something special. We had International Week once. And so every night I would look up like common phrases in like other languages and then try and teach the kids the next day. So one day at lunch I was like, hey, we're all gonna circle up after this, learn a little Spanish. And Nikki goes, I already know how to speak Spanish. Ching chong, cha chong, ba ba fa da. I was like so speechless because I had gone my entire life thinking that like racism is like a facet and quality of the ignorant, and it had never occurred to me ever that I would meet someone who was so ignorant that they were bad at being racist. That's we got a great show for you guys tonight. Please, your next comic, welcome to the stage, Alex Big Boy Bauman.